will finish with the topic from the previous lecture. I will discuss the leadership model. And after that, we will analyze some aspects of combination, I would say, of combining digital and physical assets. But before we proceed to the lecture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, how should I say, to highlight some points which were obvious during the seminar with my team. Ladies and gentlemen, in many cases, the presentations were not complete. I don't know what happened during the presentations within other seminar groups, but I can say that you don't use theory. In many cases, you just describe your company. You give a descriptive. You create a descriptive presentation without going into much detail. Therefore, we had a very important problem. This description lacks theoretical depth. You demonstrate some key points which may be important on the surface, so to say, but you do not analyze the factors which stand behind these features. You describe features that may be attractive for customers and they may be a part of the advantage of the company, but you don't try to understand what is the nature of these features. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly invite you to pay more attention to preparing your presentations. Try to be more critical towards information you found on the internet. I perfectly understand that the easiest way to make a presentation about a company is to visit this company's website and to simply gather information about it. But you should understand that in this case, your information will be just an advertising of this company. You should be critical. You should provide, you should cross-check, I would even say, information provided on the website of this company with other sources. You should use academic literature because, of course, practical approach is indeed very important. But again, you should understand the theoretical foundations of the topic. So use different resources and obviously check them, cross-check them. Otherwise, your presentations will not be able to get a higher grade you are aspiring to. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen?
It's
Okay,
clear.
okay, I hope so. So, guys, let's go to the topic of the lecture. Okay, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, the leadership model was developed by two American marketing professionals and practitioners, actually two brilliant professionals, I would say, Rice and Trout. And the core idea behind this leadership model is that the main goal of the company is not to satisfy its customers. Obviously, the importance of this task should not be underevaluated, but actually, the core goal of a company is to gain leadership on the market. Because only in this case, you will be able to provide your customers with the value they're interested in, and you can be sure in cash flows from your customers. According to this model, there are three typical strategies for companies: leadership, attack, flank attack, and partisan. Let's discuss these strategies in more detail. Ladies and gentlemen, who is a leader? How do you think? What company can be described as a leader? How do you think? When
Well, the
can we?
leader company is the one that takes the majority of the market share.
Okay, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Actually, there are, I would say, how should I say, statistical and psychological definition of the leader. First and foremost, you're absolutely correct. You should be the biggest company on the market. So you should have the biggest market share. It's absolutely correct. I would say this is a statistical definition. From a psychological point of view, this company should be considered as a leader by other stakeholders. So, when customers think about a provider of a specific service, they should think about this company first. Competitors align their strategies with this company. The government, as one of the greatest stakeholder of the market, should perceive this company as the leading representative of the industry, etc. So this company should not simply declare that it is a leading company. It should indeed be both from a statistical point of view, as I have already said, it should have the biggest market share. But in addition to this, it should also dominate the minds of other market stakeholders. Guys, do you understand it? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, great. If we analyze our Russian market, for example, are there any leaders on the market in any industry? Are there any companies that come to your mind? Please specify the name of the company and obviously the industry where this company is working. So,
Gazprom and fuel supply.
Gazprom, absolutely correct. Gazprom, it is the leading company, but in which industry?
The energy industry.
I would say oil resources, and more specifically in the field of gas resources. Okay, I would say okay, no problem. But the problem with that, ladies and gentlemen, and you provide me with a very good example, actually, guys. We describe the situation on a competitive market. So in this case, there is indeed a fight for leadership. In case of Gazprom, there is no competition actually. Okay, Gazprom has petrol stations within its oil division, but actually Gazprom has no competitors. Gazprom is the biggest gas company in Russia. It is the only company in Russia which is authorized to use pipelines to export gas. And okay, actually, it can hardly be. We can hardly imagine that on such a strictly regulated market, which is the gas market in Russia, new successful competitors will arise without an explicit or implicit permission from the state. So it is not a competitive market. It is a very, very, how should I say? I would even say it is a very crony market. So we will not discuss this case. Could you please specify some examples of leading companies in Russia in competitive industries, in industries where there is a real competition?
Well, maybe Yandex company.
Well, which industry is this?
Digital market, basically.
Okay, digital marketing, it is a very broad term because, okay, now everything is digital. So Yandex, what is the position of this company?
Well, like generally an ecosystem. Currently, it's hard to think of one definition for this company. Like
Well,
they
basically, you're
internet
right. But
provide browser and many other services.
okay, the core idea behind this company was a search engine, as you remember. But now, indeed, this company is turning itself into an ecosystem, just like many other companies do. You can remember MTS, sorry, ecosystem, Sber ecosystem, Tinkoff ecosystem, etc. And well, now we have a very strong competition on the ecosystem market, and guys, we can say that for the time being there is no clear leaders on this ecosystem market in Russia, because some companies have stronger positions in some areas, but there is no adaptable leader on the market in general. Do you understand it, guys? Is it clear?
We
Yes.
agree.
Okay, actually, it is so. Actually, it is so because there is Sberbank ecosystem, which is very strong in the banking sector. There is Yandex ecosystem, which is very strong in the digital area, but it doesn't cover all needs of its customers, etc. So now we will probably observe a fight, a very strong fight, a very cruel fight, I would even say, between different ecosystems for leadership. But now I wouldn't say that there is a clear leader on this market. Okay, Yandex is maybe a leader in the field of purely digital services because, as you probably remember, Yandex is first and foremost a search engine, which also supports different internet projects. So in the digital industry, it is maybe a leader, but I would say in pure digital industries. Okay, some other examples, ladies and gentlemen. Any ideas?
Maybe Apple on the smartphones market.
Obviously not in Russia in general. Obviously not in Russia, but in general, globally. Okay, why not? I'm not sure about the market share of Apple, but psychologically it is undoubtedly a leader because okay, when we say smartphone, we think about Apple. It's clear. Okay, guys, what about Sberbank? Is it a leader in any area?
Yes.
Well, maybe we can say it's a leader in the banking sector.
Absolutely correct. While Tinkoff is more digital oriented and more, how should I say, more technological, Sberbank is the leader on the banking market in Russia. It provides the biggest amount of banking services, and well, most customers in Russia use Sberbank services. And in most cases, even if you prefer a different bank, you will also have a Sberbank card. You will also be connected to Sberbank services. Okay, not in most cases, but okay, the situation is quite often. Guys, don't understand it. Is it clear?
Uh, why will you, in many cases, have a Sberbank card? Because your salary will be there, or why?
Okay, there are two key reasons. Your salary may be transferred to you via Sberbank, absolutely correct. And the second reason is that Sberbank provides very comfortable payment services. And okay, in many cases, it is very comfortable for you. It's very convenient to you to use in addition to your, so to say, to your regular bank card. Or it is also very convenient for you to have an additional card issued by Sberbank. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Now we see what leaders are. Well, how do you think? What is the key goal of a leader on a market?
To gain more revenue.
Gaining more revenue, obviously, you're absolutely correct. But I would like to specify within this leadership model, the key goal of any company is to gain leadership. Okay, is a leader interested in gaining leadership?
No, he's not, because he's already a leader. So
Absolutely correct. In case of a leader, it is no sense for this company to try to gain leadership because this company is already a leader. So, what is the core goal of a leader in this case? From the point of view of leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Forget about revenues, cash flows, investments, customer value, etc. What is the key goal of a company which is already a leader?
to maintain its leadership. So
Absolutely correct. To
mhm.
remain a leader, to remain a leader, obviously, because as you understand, leaders are not how should I say eternal. You may be a leader during a given period of time, but after this period of time, public just gets bored of you, and well, new leaders emerges. Again, I would repeat the example of Nokia, which was destroyed by smartphones, but Nokia was a clear leader during the mobile phones era. So
Excuse me.
yes,
Is the mm, public, I know, boredom is the main reason for uh changing of a leader? we discussed last time that Nokia was a leader before mm, before the market of smartphones became more crucible than the market of ordinary phones. So it was
What
not
is it?
about the boredom of its customers. Nope.
Actually, I don't understand the question.
um, uh, you have just said that the leader mm, maintains his leadership until uh, the customers get bored of him.
I've just given an example.
Okay.
So maybe there may be other reasons for changing in leadership. There may be technological reasons, and okay, in this case, okay, we have the example of Nokia because okay, there was a technological revolution on the mobile phone markets. Okay, there may be just some, how should I say, customers indeed can get bored of older products, and the company may understand this problem too late, etc. But nevertheless, the problem with that, the leadership is not eternal. You should try to maintain it. And don't forget, guys, that while you are a leader, some other competitors will try to destroy a position because they are also interested in leadership. What should leaders do? They should intercept competitors' steps. Do you understand what it means?
Like
So
strategies,
Well, like a strategy, but how it works? How do you think?
like any innovation strategy or any um, strategy that will gain them value.
Well, I would specify a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, as you understand, competitors may take interesting decisions, which may be more efficient than your products, actually. Okay, so it means that your competitors may be more efficient than you are. Your goal in this case is to intercept these decisions. What does it mean? If any competitor introduces a new solution which seems to be very efficient, you should simply copy it and include it into your product range, into your service range, into your price mechanism, etc. So that the competitor could not use this advantage. The problem is that you are a leader on the market. So I will give you a theoretical example, but I hope you will get it. Let's imagine you are a big company which has 1,000 stores throughout Russia. 1,000 stores. And you have a company number one, which has 400 stores. Guys, is it clear?
yes, it is.
Okay, great. So your computer introduces a new solution, I don't know, a new product or new features for a product. You see that customers like these features and you immediately copy them and you include them into your proposal of value. What will happen? Shortly thereafter, people will think that you are indeed the company that offered this novel solution. What happens? Because you are a leader, because your stores are just more frequent on the market, and it means that people who go to your shop will believe that you are inventing this novel solution. They will forget about the real author of this innovation, the company number two, because it is not so available on the market as you are. Guys, do you understand it?
Is that always the case? Why can't the company number one, I know, make some aggressive advertising company of that new features, and everyone will uh, remember this feature linked with that company?
Company number one, you mean?
Yes.
But it is the goal of the company number one to make people think that they invented this feature. The feature is invented in reality by the company number two, or by the company number three, etc.
Mm, okay. I mean, why can't the company uh, which actually invented the feature advertise it? I don't know, very hard to make people understand that it's their feature, not of the leader.
Obviously, they may do so, but it is difficult. It is really very difficult to change human mind. And in this case, you will be in a pretty stupid situation. You will have to demonstrate. You will have to try to prove that you are really the author of this innovation. Really, it will not be very efficient. Actually, okay, maybe people will understand it, but nobody will care about it because okay, when the leader intercepted your innovation, it is more important for people that you indeed invented it. People appreciate this feature present in the products of the company number one. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, I hope so. Well, let's continue. The second element of the leadership strategy is self-directed attack. Guys, do you understand what is it? It is a very interesting case. Please try to understand it. Self-directed attack. How do you think? How it works?
Maybe something like black advertising, or it isn't the same.
And no, it's not. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the situation actually? Let's imagine you are the company number one. It means that you have popular products, popular services, etc. But again, your products may become just obsolete. It means that people again may get bored of your products, on that your products are no more corresponding to the value expectations of your customers. What may happen in this case? It means that in this case, your competitors will try to squeeze out your products from the market. It is exactly what happened with Nokia, for example. Being leaders during the mobile phone era, they were destroyed by smartphones. Again, your goal is to squeeze out your popular products from the market yourself and to replace it by new products so that your competitors could not be ahead of you. It is exactly what Apple is doing. As you know, every year they launch a new model of their smartphones. So they add new features, they try to create additional value, but okay, the initial goal is to replace older models by newer ones. They do not count on the same products for a longer period of time. They replace their successful products by newer products that are expected to be as successful as the earlier ones. So it is exactly the case of a self-directed attack. Instead of waiting until your competitors will try to squeeze your products from the market, you do it yourself, but you replace your older products by newer ones. Guys, do you understand it? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So it's just a process of renewing mm, your line of products frequently.
Not so frequently because in this case your customers will not be able to catch up with your offer. In this case, you should determine uh, an efficient period of replacement of your products, and obviously you should launch new products with additional features and with additional value. Okay,
Okay.
great. So let's continue. The second model is attack. This model is suitable for the company number two on the market, if there is such a company, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the goal of the company number two? This company wishes to become a leader. It should be clear that such a company should have enough resources to try to gain leadership. So should be really a company number two, which is pretty close to the actual leader. What is the goal of the company number two? As I already said, to destroy the position of the present leader and to take this position itself. The goal can be attained through the following strategy. You should find a weak point in leader's strength and attack it. You guys don't understand how it works.
Do you mean attack by advertising or by
No, no.
putting some features which the leader doesn't have, or what?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back. Let's go back to the previous position. What happens in case of a leader? The leader should intercept competitor steps. To put it simply, leaders should copy, should imitate competitor steps. Well, in this case, let's imagine the company number two finds a weakness in leader's strength and attacks it. What happens? We create a better value that the leader does by finding a weak point in his strength. It means that the leader will never be able to copy our strategy, because in this case, the leader will simply destroy its position. I will explain how it works. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember Kodak Kodak photos,
Yes.
Yes.
Kodak photo devices? Okay, as you probably remember, Kodak was the leader on the market before the digital photography emerged. Well, Kodak supplied very good photo devices. Kodak provided also films for these devices. Guys, do you understand what it means?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, it's clear. Great. So they had a full range of photo accessories, I would say, which were necessary for customers to make photos. But well, what was the problem with the Kodak photo devices? The problem was that when you take photos, you had to process films. Ladies and gentlemen, is it clear?
So it's some operation to reveal photographs. Yes.
Absolutely correct. So you had to process your films. It was a pretty complicated chemical processes, and it required a lot of resources and a lot of time. So indeed, if you have a Kodak photo device and if you have a Kodak film, okay, in this case you are able to produce good photos. But guys, you sacrifice a lot of effort for it. Well, what was the problem of Kodak? Of Kodak prices? No, it was the leading company, and it could easily decrease prices in case of problem. Okay, you could start an advertising campaign against Kodak. No problem, but Kodak has a very good reputation, and it could have protected it with a counter advertising. Okay, you could start produce photo devices with additional features, no problem. But in this case, most probably you would lose because Kodak has a lot of resources, and it would easily copy your specific features, and it would include it into its photo devices. And in this case, it would simply intercept your efficient step. So, no possibility to attack Kodak on this market. But, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember another company in the field of photography before digital photos appeared on the market? This company was Polaroid. Have you ever heard about it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the key feature of Polaroid? Do you remember it?
You didn't have to reveal the films.
Absolutely correct.
They were just
Yeah, basically you took a
printed.
picture and it prints. Yeah.
Yes.
Could you please repeat? I didn't hear you. Or, ladies and gentlemen.
You take a picture and the Polaroid prints it right away.
Absolutely, you get instant photos, so to say, like instant coffee, for example. Actually, this analogy is pretty correct. You can compare instant coffee and traditional coffee, and you can compare Kodak and instant photos by Polaroid. But technically, from the point of view of an ordinary user, it was very attractive because in this case, you immediately get the photo, and you don't have sacrifice a lot of efforts to produce this photo. Well, what happened, ladies and gentlemen? To put it simply, Polaroid invented a new technology of photography. Polaroid found a weak point in the strength of Kodak. Kodak indeed was able to produce good photos, but the weak point was the need for processing films. And okay, what did Polaroid? He attacked this weak point. He simply eliminated this technological stage from the photo processes. Its Polaroid photo devices didn't require any efforts for producing photos. Guys, do you understand? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so literally, Polaroid destroyed Kodak because Kodak could not copy this step, obviously, because it was a new technological solution, and it could not be intercepted by Kodak within the existing how should I say, technological and industrial model of Kodak. So in this case, Kodak would have to buy a license from Polaroid to produce similar photo devices, and obviously in this case, Kodak would lag behind Polaroid. So anyway, leadership of Kodak would have been destroyed in any case. So in the this situation means that this new technological solution destroyed the advantage of Kodak, and this solution could not be copied, could not be intercepted by Kodak. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand it? Is it clear?
So the attack means to implement some features which cannot be copied by the leader.
Absolutely correct, because in this case, because this attack is addressed against the weak point within the leader's strength, and if the leader tries to copy this solution, okay, it will destroy its strength itself. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
I hope so. Well, so, ladies and gentlemen, what happened later? How do you think? What steps were undertaken by Kodak in order to destroy this attack organized by Polaroid? Do you have any idea? Okay, this solution is pretty old. It goes back to 80s and to 90s now. Okay, now the digital photo revolution destroyed both Kodak and Polaroid. But well, do you have any ideas how did Kodak effectively react to this attack? Ladies and gentlemen, as you understand, the problem was that in order to produce photos with Kodak, you had to process films. Okay, we understand that Kodak could not copy the technological solutions invented by Polaroid. What did Kodak do? The solution was very, very elegant and very, very efficient. They simply launched a network of of photo processing shops all over the world. So you take your photos, you go to this photo processing shop, you pay a small amount of money, and within an hour your photos are ready. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes,
Yes.
but it doesn't sound very efficient. Like spending huge sums of money on this chain of this stores, stations.
Okay. In most cases, there were franchised shops. So actually, Kodak does not. Kodak did not invest too much money. But they managed to cover the whole planet by this network of photo processing stores. And thanks to this, you could immediately go to the store and to get your photos, and the amount you had to pay was really pretty small. It means that in this case, uh, Polaroid could not react because the technology of Polaroid was of lower quality than the Kodak technology, and using this new organizational solution, ladies and gentlemen, what it means. If you remember, the sources of entrepreneurial decisions are new products, new technologies, etc. Polaroid tried to launch a new technology. It was a very good idea. But what did Kodak do? They launched a new product. Instead of just selling photo devices and films, they launched a whole service, a whole value. You get your photo. We do everything for your photos. You just have to take photos. That's all. We will produce the photo ourselves. Guys, do you understand it?
Uh, so Kodak tried to somehow um, improve its weak point, which was attacked.
Okay, it reintroduced a new model of value creation, and this model of value creation eliminated this weak point, and obviously it destroyed the advantage of Polaroid, because okay, the strength of Polaroid was instant photo, absolutely correct, but the bad problem was low quality of photos. What did Polaroid do? It introduced the possibility of having photos immediately, and still it maintained high quality of photos. Polaroid could not react to this. Guys, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so it's how it works. So it means, ladies and gentlemen, that sometimes you have to relaunch, I would say, your products in order to react to the attack. But well, sometimes your attacks may be very efficient. You simply use new technologies. Okay, I said simply. Actually, it is very difficult to introduce a new technology, but nevertheless, if you launch such a technology, okay, you may destroy the leadership of the previous leader. It's exactly what smartphones did. They introduced a new technology. Okay, mobile phones produced by Nokia very, very good, but they were just mobile phones. Smartphones are more than just mobile phones. Okay, it simply destroyed the position of Nokia. Interestingly enough, Nokia was the first company to introduce the idea of smartphones, or how should I say? Not exactly smartphones, I would say pre-smartphones. In the end of the 90s, they tried to launch a combination of telephone, of a mobile phone, and a notebook, a multi-feature mobile phone, but okay, it was not very efficient because the technology were not very developed, and it was more similar to a notebook. Okay, let's imagine the size was equal to the size of a bigger mobile phone, but still there were touches for okay there were okay, it included a normal keyboard like a traditional notebook, so it was not very comfortable and not very advanced, so this idea failed. When the technology advanced, thanks to the emergence of touch screens, etc., okay, Apple managed to gain leadership on this market. Guys, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, flank attack. Ladies and gentlemen, what does it mean? Okay, by the way, guys, okay, let's go. Uh-huh. No, we will discuss it later. In case of flank attack, what do you have to do? In this case, you have to find a free niche that can ensure leadership. What does it mean? Ladies and gentlemen, a classical example is the sugar-free drinks. Are sugar-free drinks. Okay, as you understand, many people drank normal drinks with a normal percentage of sugar, not because they liked sugar, but because they liked the taste of these drinks. They would be happy to switch to sugar-free drinks, but okay, no producers sold such drinks. Okay, as soon as we launch a range of sugar-free drinks, okay, in this case, we are able to cover the audience, which is now not completely satisfied by the existing products. So a free niche in this case are are potential lovers of sugar-free drinks. Guys, is it clear? Do you understand it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes,
Okay,
but
so
is there one
mm,
specific brand that did this strategy? I guess the majority of brands currently trying to shift for sugar-free
okay,
drinks
you're
like
absolutely
Cola and
correct.
Pepsi.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. The initial attempt to do so was undertaken by Coca-Cola, as you probably have heard about it. Well, this attempt was not very successful, actually, but well, they tried to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that as soon as you find an efficient marketing solution, everybody will try to imitate you. So, as you find a free niche and try to penetrate it, okay, if you don't manage to gain a quick, how should I say, if you don't manage to gain an obvious leadership on this market, you will be immediately occupied by your followers, I would say, by your successors, and maybe some of them will even destroy your potential leadership. So you're absolutely correct. Now all producers of soft drinks try to offer sugar-free drinks range in order to cover all potential customers. But still, in the very beginning of this idea, it might be very efficient. It was indeed a free niche. Guys, do you understand? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, what else? For example, guys, let's go back to McDonald's. What is the advantage of McDonald's? It is probably the most popular fast food chain globally. I guess that they are not the number one anymore, but still they are very, very popular. But what is the problem with McDonald's? How do you think? Let's forget about healthy food, etc. What about the how should I say, the atmosphere within the McDonald's restaurants?
It's like a fast food chain, very basic.
Okay, it's very basic, but when you go to a McDonald's restaurant in the day, during the day, what you will find there? I mean, what types of customers you will find there?
Well, many office workers that just go there to have lunch and fast go away to their offices.
What else? Or better, who else?
Children.
Unemployed? I don't know.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, flank attack, it's an idea for the company number three. So for companies that are big enough to try to gain leadership, but not big enough to destroy the leader. Ladies and gentlemen, what it means, I will try to explain. Okay. For example, there is a lot of children in McDonald's. Do you understand it?
Yes.
What is the problem with children?
They're loud.
They are noisy, absolutely correct. They are noisy and sometimes they are annoying. Okay, as you know, people like French fries. Okay, children like French fries. They like McDonald's combos, and okay, in many cases, families having children go to McDonald's because they are sure that they will find there something for the children to eat. But okay, children are noisy. And as you see, the atmosphere in McDonald's restaurants are very children friendly, as you understand it. Okay, so Ronald McDonald's, the famous clown, etc. Let's imagine. May you wish to go to a burger restaurant, but where there are no children. May this idea be attractive for potential customers.
Of course, it may.
Oh, guys, do you remember the restaurant chain which was present in Russia before 2014? After that, it was closed. They tried to restart the activities later, but now I guess they left Russia completely. Carl's Jr. No, you haven't.
Not really.
Okay, they left. Okay. They had a pretty big network here in Russia, but they left, as I have already said, in 2014, and their restart was not very successful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's the topic? In case of Carl's Jr., they introduced a concept which was not children friendly, I would say. Okay, obviously, if you come to this restaurant with a chat, nobody will try to get you out. But okay, most probably your children will not be happy themselves. The size of portions is just too big. It is very difficult for a child to eat it. It is not convenient for him or for her to eat it. Your children will simply get dirty thanks to the sauce, etc. Well, no children meals. Anyway. And the advertising, I would say, is very adult oriented. As we say here in Russia, 18 plus. This model was pretty popular. So if you are interested in visiting a burger restaurant, but you don't wish to be surrounded by noisy children, okay, this restaurant would be an obvious choice for you. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks to this model, they became quite popular. I wouldn't say that they pretended to the real leadership, but still, they managed to develop a pretty big network. So it means that in case of flank attack, you should find a free niche on the market which is not served by any company, and this niche should be big enough to get you closer to leadership, I would say. It should not be a very small niche. It should be a big niche, a pretty big niche that may help you to become a leader pretender. Guys, do you understand it? Is it clear?
Uh, yes, it is, but I can't say the difference between the flank attack and the ordinary attack. So, what's the difference?
The difference is that in case of an attack, you try to destroy the existing product by the new one. So you try to cover the whole market by your new product, and you try to become a new leader of the market. In case of a flank attack, you don't have enough resources to be able to provide a new solution for the market as a whole. But you try to serve the audience, which is not served now by any company. In case of Kodak and Polaroid, both companies tried to make photos, just photos for ordinary people. So it was the same market. In case of flank attack, the situation is pretty different. You try to find a free niche on the market which is not served by any company. You are not able to replace existing products, but still you try to serve the audience which is interested in specific offers. Do you understand it?
Yes, now I do. Okay.
Hopefully. Okay, let's go. Let's go. The last position is the position of a partisan. Ladies and gentlemen, what you should understand in this case. Partisan is a very small company. It is not about leadership, it is about niche. You want to start a business, but you're afraid that you can be destroyed by the leader because leaders are ubiquitous. They are present everywhere. In case of a partisan, you should try to find a niche that is too small for the leader but sufficient for the partisan. What does it mean? For example, let's imagine. Let's imagine. Okay, have you ever heard about Rakhya railway station?
What is it?
No, never.
Okay, guys, you are pretty lucky. Okay, it is a small railway station from Finlandsky General Railway Station in St. Petersburg. It is about in an hour from St. Petersburg. Okay, it is pretty small. I would not say okay, kind of a village actually. But now people are going there to live because obviously the living there is cheaper than in St. Petersburg. Well, it will be pretty difficult for you to open a McDonald's there because in order to make a McDonald's restaurant profitable, you should ensure sufficient human traffic. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you should create a kitchen. You should ensure delivery from the central stock in St. Petersburg. You should maintain the decent quality of your products. You should hire staff and so on. And okay, as Rokhia is pretty small, and okay, you can open a McDonald's restaurant close to the railway station, but you will have two peaks in consumption. In the morning when people go to St. Petersburg to work, and in the evening uh, when people go back home. But well, during the day you will not have any sales at all, and obviously it will not be profitable for you. And even during peak hours, the demand for your products will not be too big. So in this case, this niche is too small for a leader. It is too small for a McDonald's restaurant to be profitable. But now, guys, let's imagine. Is it possible for you to open a shawarma kiosk close to the railway station? Obviously, it's absolutely possible because in this case you require less resources. And okay, shawarmas are sold all the time. So, if you are able to sell, I don't know, 50 shawarmas a day, it is sufficient for you as a partisan, as a small company. But obviously, McDonald's will not be happy if they manage to sell just 50 cheeseburgers a day. So, you should find a niche that is too small for the leader but sufficient for the partisan from the financial point of view. And opening a small shawarma kiosk at a forgotten railway station, in this case, may be a good solution. McDonald's will never, okay, never say never, obviously, but in the long term, I would say McDonald's will never go to this geographical area. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it's clear.
uh, in some particular situation, can the leader create some sort of franchise of smaller restaurants like shawarma, but under the McDonald's logo, something like that? or it's too hard for the big company?
Yeah, it may be so, but in this case, it may be a different brand, because in this case, if you create two different products and two different offers under the same brand, you will simply destroy your basic brand. Okay, you may try to open, or you may try to open a chain of shawarma shops, but okay, in this case, it would be logical for you to introduce a new brand. But okay, obviously, it may be so, but again, even in this case, you will start first and foremost from the biggest cities in Russia. And you will not immediately move to small cities because, okay, this market is not very interesting for you. Is it clear?
Yes, okay.
Okay, guys. So it's how it works. It's how it works. Okay, now what about digital marketing? I would like to repeat some things which are very important, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, within the traditional marketing, we discuss physical assets, physical sales, physical stores, physical delivery, etc. In case of digital marketing, we discuss digital products, digital stores, e-stores, platforms, web apps via which we cooperate, we interact with our suppliers. And in many cases, I've got actually some questions from colleagues from a different course. In most cases, how should I say, people have two digital minds. They believe that everything is digital. The problem with that, unfortunately, in most cases, digital products, ladies and gentlemen, what is a digital product? Do you understand what is a digital product?
Yes.
Yes, it's a service that fully carries on online.
Could you give some examples?
I don't know, streaming services like Netflix. It's
Excellent,
digital
absolutely correct.
service.
Netflix streaming services are purely digital. So in this case, you get a digital product, a movie. This product is delivered to you via digital communication channel, etc. And most probably you will pay for this product digitally or via Sberbank Online or I don't know, via a different bank. So in this case, all communication with the company is absolutely digital. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is a digital company may exist only in fields where the product is information based. Do you understand it, guys?
Yes.
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 We can digitize information. We can digitize books, movies, software. Obviously, software is already digital. We can digitize. Okay, books I've already said. Okay, we can digitize music and so on. But can we digitize food?
Unfortunately not.
I would say fortunately, but still, okay, we can digitize food. Okay, even if you go to the delivery club app, okay, in this case, obviously we communicate with the company via digital channels, but the product is delivered to us. The physical products, the food itself, is delivered to us physically, and it is delivered by physical couriers. Okay, couriers are not digital either. It means that you should not forget the importance of physical assets in your service. Be digital, it's quite normal. But digitization, it's about information. It's about organization of people. It's about organization of companies because through digital tools you can organize people. But in many cases, you have to include a strong part of physical assets into your model of digital marketing. And companies are now turning phygital. As you understand, physical and digital give phygital, combination of physical and digital assets. So it is a general consumer space which combines digital and physical tools. You can go to a real shop, but you can also go to an online shop of the same company. You can go to a physical shop, but after that you can get technical support digitally, etc. So don't forget about the importance of physical assets. You may not be a purely digital in our physical world. Guys, do you understand it? Is it clear?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Many people forget about it because, okay, they believe that, okay, brick and mortars companies are obsolete. Okay, it is not completely so. Sometimes physical assets are the only way for us to deliver value. Well, what else? What about our customers? Ladies and gentlemen, as you understand, now there are two important tools which I include into interaction between customers and companies. It is gamification and customer empowerment. Do you understand what is it?
Not really.
Okay, gamification, what does it do? The process of interaction between the customer and the supplier is turned into a game. You kind of you are kind of playing with the supplier. So, for example, okay, the for example, what I can say. Have you ever heard about Duolingo? No.
Yes, I
Yes.
have.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a platform where you study languages, and they also have the examination part now,
Hmm.
like IELTS and TOEFL exams. They are
Okay,
recognized in universities.
absolutely correct. Have you ever used it?
Me personally, no.
No.
Not too much, but yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they have a very strong gamification features. You participate in different contests. You are invited to win points, etc. So, thanks to this, you are motivated to invest stronger into learning languages because learning languages, okay, it is a pretty difficult process. You have to spend a lot of efforts. And thanks to gamification, this process is made more interesting for you. Guys, do you understand it, ladies and
Y-
gentlemen?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
some tools may be applied. For example, is in some stores. So I can easily imagine the situation when a visit to a store is turned into a quest, for example. Okay, so for some children, or maybe I would say for husbands, it may be a very good solution. Well, customer empowerment. What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, technically, within the traditional marketing, customer is considered to be just a customer, a person who pays money for products. A product is produced by the company. The company determines features of this product and so on. Now, customers are involved in the production process. Thanks, for example, to crowdfunding. Customers are often invited to produce recommendations and solutions for products they are interested in. So, customers may issue recommendations for the final product. What does it mean? It means two important things. We include customer resources into product development. It is really very, very important. And we use customer resources to enhance our product and to make it more attractive for final customers. For example, as you probably know, this model is often used by computer game producers. What do? They launch a beta version of a game and they invite customers to test it. So what it means? They get testers for their products for free, a very important part of their economies. What else? Customers make recommendations. They inform the company what they are expecting of the game. And in this case, these expectations may be included in this video game, in this computer game. And obviously, it will increase the attractiveness of this game for the customers and will increase the chances that the volume of sales will be high. Guys, do you understand it? Is it clear?
So it's about using customers as some sort of free labor. Mm.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. But it is not only so. In this case, we use customers as free human resource. It's absolutely true. But in addition to this, we include customer recommendations in our in our product. So how should I say? We invite customers to customize our product. And obviously, thanks to this, the chances that our products will be sold are much higher. Do you understand? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay,
basically ask our customers how they want the product to develop, and they help us.
it is a question.
Am I right? Yeah,
Could,
am I right?
could you please repeat? Actually, I didn't hear you completely.
Okay, so we basically invite our customers to share their opinion and comments so that we can modify the product and develop it the way the
Uh,
customers would like.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. But it is not exactly about marketing surveys because okay, we can collect customers' recommendations via different marketing surveys, but in this case, again, we invite customers to participate in the development of our product. For example, we declare a contest. For example, the person who designs the best design for our T-shirt will get, I don't know, a special discount, or okay, will get a possibility to publish his or her photo on our website, etc. And so our customers are happy to participate in such contest because okay, they would be eager to create something, and they are interested in appreciation of their efforts. And thanks to this, we can be sure that designs developed by our customers will be popular among our customers because okay, these designs are developed by customers themselves. They correspond to their expectations. Again, we invite our customers to participate in game testing. We do not simply collect our recommendations what they are expecting. We invite them to participate in game testing, and in this case, we get real recommendations based on their real experience. So they become a kind of co-producers of our product. Do you understand, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. That's all for today. Now, what about the task for the seminar, ladies and gentlemen? We dedicated this lecture to the final part of the previous lecture, actually. So I kindly ask you to develop your presentations you prepared for this seminar by including this presentation the place of your company in the leadership model. So leadership, attack, flank attack, or partisan, etc. Okay, guys, is it clear?
Yes, okay, but should we analyze, like, give a brief description of other companies that are also there on the table, for example? Like, if we're talking about Airbnb, there's Booking.com, like, should we place others among?
It would be a very good question. It would be good if you could compare your company with other competitors present on the market in order to support your point of view.
Okay.
More questions, guys?
So next time we will present only the extra part of our presentation.
Absolutely correct. You can add additional slides to your first presentation, dedicating it to the place of your company and the leadership model. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's all, guys.
And we shall send you our presentations.
As usual, on 9 p.m. At 9 p.m. on the day before the presentation.
Okay. Thank
More
you.
questions?
And what is the approximate time limit of our presentation of this part?
As usual, the requirements are the same. I guess it was about 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That's all, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day and see you next week. See you guys. Bye bye.
Goodbye.